So, in light of what we've seen from the cult of current Christianity, evangelicals, and all those who side with bigotry and consider their siding and have confused their siding with bigotry, their siding with Christianity, I wanted to go back and I think I'll put it up there, begin to explain that video because what we have just seen from the cult of current Christianity, what BIPOC are starting to realize is that they're not worshiping the same thing. And you're truly not. I've been saying it for years as I deconstruct and think critically about religion and belief and faith on my channel. And I thought that clip like perfectly encapsulated what's going I think it's like 4 years now of deconstruction. But I'll put it short. It's just like, it's this. It's that the cult of current Christianity, like current Christians, the reason why I call it a cult is because it is a belief system that has been like manipulated to where the Christian can't actually think critically about what they believe. And if they think critically about what they believe, they're not actually allowed to disagree. Okay. You have to, if you're going to remain a Christian, loop back, do the little neural loop back around to what your core controlling dogma, like your religious beliefs are. You have to loop back around to agreeing with them. You cannot actually say, well, I can't necessarily say that there is a God. You have to say that there is a God. You've got to do the whole creed and we know what the cult controlling dogma is of the cult. They are, although they are allowed to a certain extent disagree and sort of challenge and try to edify the cult of current Christianity, they're not allowed to exit it and to judge their God and to demand better. It's one of the things I go into on my channel in the series "Hain't You My God." You can find it on YouTube, or it's maybe too far down. Me in the red, walking in the red sweatshirt, and I was trying to explain that, and I think Dr. Nicole Tisdale, I just saw a video where she had said the same thing recently, and we're all telling people the same thing, is that you need to think critically about what you believe, and you need to discern whether or not that's literally something that you should believe. The problem with the cult of current Christianity is that the imperialism in and the colonization and the supremacy in it says it has a very join or die. We are the only belief system. We are the only religion. And if you don't believe exactly what we say, you're gonna suffer conscious eternal torment in the fiery pits of hell. So I created that that video, so that people could get a funny, quick understanding that the cult of current Christianity doesn't know what it's worshiping. If what it was worshiping stood before it, it would do what Chris Tucker is doing to the character of you, why you, and he's like, when the character said, "Hey, I'm you," and this is just one level of meaning because there's a second level of meaning about the cult of current Christianity's God being themselves. And so when you says, "I am you," um, and Chris is like, I don't know what, how are you me? And you says, "But I am you," and you is literally saying that that's his name. But if you were using the second layer of meaning that I was getting at, literally the cult of current Christianity's God is themselves. They just don't know it, and they refuse to realize that they've gone through the process of God creation, in which they choose who and what God is. They may not see it as that, but they choose who and what God is. They then deify, sanctify that, and they push that into what I call the God box. And they say that is God. That's God. And you only have to look to challenge like or understand what I'm saying. There's like 35,000 plus versions of Christianity, and what they have chosen to believe about God. Let's just keep it to that subject. We ain't going into Jesus and all the other stuff. But what they've chosen to believe about God is not all the same thing. And so this week, Black Christians have realized that second level of meaning that I just unpacked for you, and they've also realized the first level of meaning, which is Christians wouldn't really know if their actual whatever entity they're trying to worship, whatever the entity was, um, they wouldn't know it if it walked up to them, because they have created something altogether. And I always say they've been working the clay of their imagination for so long that their creation, their Frankenstein, has become their God. And over year after year after year, they've accepted that for so long that that you can't you can't question it, because you have to. That's one of the foremost failings of Christianity. You have to accept the fact that the core dogma is true, that the God that they sell you and that they've created and that they're handing you is actually the entity that they're peddling, and it is the God that you should be worshiping, the entity you should be worshiping and communing with, and you have to accept that as true. Because if you're raised in the eastern parts of the US, you may get a different God from the one you get in the West, and the one you get in the North will be the one from you get in the South and Northeast, and all of somewhere in between. You're gonna get something different. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands, but that's why I created that. And so I think that's two good levels of meaning in less than 10 minutes. I have a longer video that I'm going to put up that goes into a longer discussion and kind of pulls together my channel, because I think we're all either going to have to migrate to M, or we're going to be booted off of TikTok. So I'm beginning to kind of concretize what I've been talking about on my channel, and then I'll be continuing that on YouTube. So you guys go find me. I think it's Queen_Heretic. And I'm also on Blue Sky under Queen Heretic, one phrase, both words together. I don't think we're going to be able to keep, I don't know what they're going to do with Lemonade. I don't like going on there. I'm on Fanbase, but not. That's a horrific app. I will be getting on Skylight. So guys, find me there. I likely won't be doing anything significant even if I have the M app. I may be doing storytelling. I am many things besides a person who argues for a living. I am a storyteller and a sage, a griot, and I believe that satire and storytelling is truly the way to change people. Me talking like this and deconstructing, people who like this niche stuff, they'll listen to it straight out, right? But other people need a story. So I'm going to probably be doing that over there on M, because the 1% and those who are in control are allergic to the truth. And because they are allergic to the truth, they're starting to hurt people. So we will do what we as human beings who need to survive have always done. We still resist, but we resist in ways that contain plausible deniability. So anyway, stay tuned.